Hello and welcome to our very first episode of Planet Crafter. This is a survival crafting game where you are supposed to terraform a planet. You can sit here to make it more livable. So to make plants, and as you go you'll get lakes and things like that. We've got a little message here. Mission is to advance the terraformation process of this world, generate O2, heat, and pressure to do so. First, reach 175 Ti and create a blue atmosphere. Sentinel core. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab some food and water. We'll need to start making our different microchips, and our backpack will be the first thing I want to try to get, along with our oxygen tank. So we'll need 2 iron, and then 2 cobalt, another iron, and a magnesium. Start by gathering up some materials. Now, one of the things about this game is there's a story, but it's kind of scattered throughout the world. You have to find it as you go. And I think that's actually really interesting. Instead of giving it to you right away, you actually have to work for it slightly. Let's see. I'm going to grab some extra materials. I've already forgotten what I needed, so we'll just grab I might need some silicone as well, but I don't want to wander too far away from our pod for that very reason. So we'll get our backpack upgrade and just click it in. And no, we had everything we needed: iron, oxygen, and iron, coal, and magnesium. That will give us a boost to our oxygen. We now have 145. Give us extra water, and then we need to start working on getting our different microchips, silicon and magnesium. Now, silicon's a little bit easier to spot just because it has this odd shape to it and it's kind of shiny. Magnesium, also easy to spot because it is a little spiky bit. A little bit of extra cobalt. Now, I'm sure by now most of you have already seen someone else play this, but for those of you that don't know, cobalt makes extra oxygen. So you need 2 cobalt for that. Ice makes water, and so on and so forth. So now we've made our mining microchip. We need another magnesium for the deconstruction. Look at that now. There's some right here. Now, as we advance, we will get upgrades to our oxygen and our buildings. As you can see right now, we just have some basic stuff. A crafting machine, a veggie tube, which produces oxygen, a drill, which makes pressure, and wind turbine for energy, and a heater for, well, obviously heat. We have different screens. This one will show how far we are into the terraformation process. Screen blueprints will get microchips that will allow us to unlock certain recipes for crafting. And the energy level screen speaks for itself. It shows you the different levels of energy, what we're using and what we need. Storage crates, right now we only have the basic storage crate. It's a medium storage container, so it is this. And it only has 12 spaces in it. But as we go, once we get a lot higher, we'll be able to get a large storage crate. Let's see, so we have the construction chip, and you'll see we only have 4 spaces here right now. That's fine. So our next goal is we'll want to be able to make a new living compartment. So we'll need 2 iron and a titanium just for the living compartment. But you also need the door to get in and out, obviously. So altogether, we'll need 3 iron, 2 titanium, and a silicon. Let's go ahead and get right out and go get that. Now, another thing to note is there are little hidden areas. Oh, I think we are getting ready to get our first meteor event. Fine. We'll have to go hide in our little pod. Go in here so it's a little bit quieter. But you will know that as we go, we will get meteor storms. Now, those meteor storms, most of the time, will drop different resources. So, the first one, I believe, is always a base material storm. Other times, we'll get sandstorms. So, it might look and sound like one, but it's actually just a storm. Which actually looks like that's what this is. I'm not seeing any meteors. Which means we can just go ahead and keep going. You will not get hurt from regular storms. And to the best of my knowledge, I haven't noticed it. I have another save I've been playing on. It's very, very loud. Apologies if it is hard to hear me. Planning on getting a new microphone next month for both my husband and myself. Yeah, see, it's already pretty much passed. Now, I already know where I plan on building. It's going to be right up here. Other things we'll get as we go will be like a jetpack and things like that, but we'll get into that more as we advance. I'm not going to worry about it right this moment. Something else to note is that there are extra biomes here, so it's not all just one area that all looks exactly the same. Matter of fact, you can see caves in different places and things like that. Oxygen is low again. Let's go ahead and top up. Now, I believe I want to start over here. So now you'll see we have our own little pod. We can pick it up, deconstruct it, and place it. When you deconstruct items, do get all your resources back, so that's something to remember. So now we'll want a crafting station. So we'll want to make sure we get that right away. So iron and silicon. Now, in my experience on the other save I have, these resources, they can get scarce at times, but honestly, iron is so abundant. It's everywhere. I'm not too worried about collecting all of what's here for now. And honestly, I wouldn't mind making our pot a little bit bigger after we place this. So we're going to go and look for all of our resources to expand this. So I'm going to put it right there. And now it's just iron for wind turbines. Now, the great thing is, as you go, you will get things that give you more and more power, because obviously, the higher the tech, the more power it's going to use, the more you're going to need. And you don't want wind turbines just everywhere. I'm not saying you can't do that, but it's not ideal. We couldn't gather what we can. Silicone. Then gather a little bit more ice. Yes, I know we have low power. Let's go ahead and put these up here. Would be a good place to start it. And now we actually have power. Now I'm going to try to keep these episodes sort of short. I'm going to try to keep them to be about half an hour, which my husband's going to help me keep an eye on the time for that, so should be a lot easier. Let's see, we have iron, titanium, and silicone, so we should be able to advance it. Yes. Sometimes it can be a bit weird, like it won't necessarily want to place. So sometimes you have to kind of play with it a bit. Okay, so now one thing to note is resources can actually get in your way when you're trying to place. I have noticed that. So now as you see, okay, I think I know what's going on here. Deconstruct that. Now the one thing I actually kind of enjoy is, say you've got a full inventory and you deconstruct something. Yeah, see. Your resources don't just get lost. You can actually, I hate to do a floating base thing, but let's see. We'll put it up on platform like that. There we are. And now we should be able to just pick them right back up. There we go. Take that around. Okay, now see, that's too low for that, which is fine. But now you'll see we'll be able to add that extra compartment. Extra iron. I don't want to go too far because, as I said, we need to keep an eye on our oxygen. Something else to note would be, yep, there we go. We can jump up pretty well like that. Let's rotate this back around. Press back. Now we're going to want to grow this out quite a bit because we're going to need room for our different things that we're going to be crafting, such as our heaters and things like that. Let's see here. So yeah, we'll want to be gathering as much as we can right now. It can be a little bit boring at first, but it does get more exciting as you go. And I will say this is actually quite the addicting game in my opinion. Gather that up. Now we will be going over to where that little sandy waterfall area is here in a short, but I'm not going to do it right this moment. Sure, gather that. I'd like to gather a little bit more iron. Now, as we advance and we start warming up the planet, there are going to be little spots that are sealed off, so to speak, with ice. Those spots will become accessible as we terraform. Okay, so we've got that now. In, get some oxygen, and I would like to, there we go. We still need more iron, but as we go, we'll expand this out just a little bit. I'm not going to do it too much right at this moment, but for now, that'll help. Now, it will probably get fairly dark at night, and unfortunately, there is no brightness setting or adjustment in this. Hopefully, if the developers watch this, they'll hear that and maybe think about putting that in, because it does get quite dark and it makes it difficult for recording. But you will know that there are several little hidden areas. We're going to go to one by the end of the episode, but I want to just get established a little bit first. So we're going to put ourselves a little box down. And you will be able to note which way is the front and which way is the back, depending on where that little box on the bottom left-hand corner of it is, which is where you can name your boxes. So we're going to put this stuff away. I'm going to actually take a cobalt out and put a couple of those away. We're going to go get one more cobalt. And we're going to go collect what's inside of the chest back where our drop pod is. Now, right now, I'm on normal difficulty, normal landing zone. But you can change where you land. You don't have to be in the standard zone. I do know that. Now, another thing to note is we have what's called space food. You see our health bar. That's what we need to raise that bar back up. And then obviously we have our standard oxygen and water. Now, as we go, eventually those little baggies, the little space food baggies, will run out. You only have a finite amount of those. So what we'll have to eventually do is unlock a food grower. Now that food grower will, obviously, as the name suggests, allow us to make our own food. So it's definitely something that we cannot avoid. Another thing to note is in this game there are, I believe, 10 golden chests, which we are definitely going to want to find. And one of the secrets, as I said, is in this area. I won't say exactly where yet. There is a golden chest up there, so when we go to get the secret, which will be here in a few moments, I'm going to unload this. I'm going to grab some extra resources. Always grab as much resources as you can carry at the beginning. Iron being one of the most important ones because it's one of the most used resources when you first start. Making sure you have extra water, extra oxygen, things like that on you is also very important in the beginning. Because it is very easy to get caught out without oxygen. And when you do that, you die and you drop all your goodies. It's no fun. Now, what you drop, I believe, depends on the difficulty you have chosen. So, you might lose some things, or you might keep everything. It depends on what difficulty you chose. Okay, so, we're back. Like that. I'm gonna go ahead and make another chest. I like to try to keep mine a little bit straight. Unfortunately, you cannot stack the chests, so you end up with quite a few just laying about. But that's okay. So we're going to put away all of our fish food. And I try to keep as organized as I can. But at the beginning, that's not the easiest thing to do. So these away. Matter of fact, we're kind of thirsty, so we'll go ahead and eat and drink. See larva away. So yeah, we're going to go. And we're going to go to the first little... Actually, no. We'll go ahead and put our first turtle down. Now, you want to be careful where you're placing these things because, yes, you can move them, but they can be a bit of a pain in the future when you're trying to juggle everything around. Some of the machines are a lot bigger, and some are smaller. So if you look at the top right-hand corner, you'll see our terraformation index is starting to slowly creep up, where we are now at 4. So the next thing we'll want to do is make a vegetube and a heater. Now you'll see the heater needs a resource called iridium. That is where that area over there will come in handy because that is an iridium mine. So we're going to make sure our oxygen's topped up. And then we're going to run over. And I've already tested this now. If you're like me and you didn't know about this place until the last minute, this whole area eventually floods with water. And I can tell you this now. It's not fun trying to find this secret spot when it's underwater. It is very difficult because you cannot see very well. However, if you go while this area is still, well, dry, it's a lot easier. So all you need to look for is this little flat area, this wall here. And there will be a little space in between these two rocks. And you just use your deconstruction to open it up. And here we are. There's a little robot body here. Let's take a snapshot of that. So, that. Yes, I know my oxygen's low. And we're going to take what we can from this. Now, this is all very good. So, you'll see we've got iridium in this. food, different seeds, different food seeds, aluminum, pulsar quartz, and a microchip. Now that microchip right now is very important to us. We want to make sure we grab that. Aluminum is also going to be very important. Right now we do not have a food grower, so the seeds aren't going to help us too much. But these here are what's going to help us as far as our oxygen goes. So you'll see each one has a multiplier. So that one's 200, this is 150, and this is nothing. So we'll want to grab what we can of those and then run back. We'll put this away. As you can see, actually, let's go over here first. So you will see our life pod will be on the other side of this rock. Go around here. Top up our oxygen, and then we'll run back to our little base. Okay, so we're nice and full, and our base is over there. We're going to run back to it, put everything away, and then we're going to try to make our heater. And then directly after that, we'll make our vegetube. Now you can see on the top left-hand corner, it gave us some goals. So craft the terraformation screen, the blueprint screen, the heater, the vegetube, and reach 175 Ti. Which, it's nice to have it let us know what some basic things are to get started. I'm sure you've noted as I've passed by, there are some places that are like crash sites. Those we won't really be exploring today. You definitely, no, I don't want to rename you. You definitely want to go to them, but right now, our goal should be just getting set up. So go ahead and gather up our resources that we have in here as much as we can. And we're going to place our first little here. I'm going to put it over here. So, as you can see, our power just went out. All we have to do to fix that is to put another wind turbine down. And this just shows you how quickly you run through power. Now see, we're back. This generates 1.20 kilowatts a second. So now we've got both of them running, and that puts power to our base. Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting some more going. I know we're going to need more iron. We're going to need ice for the vegetube. We have some oxygen, so I'm going to go ahead and try to gather a little bit more. And this is what I was saying about the iron being very important in the beginning. I know we have more resources back in the little hidden area. We will be going back to that. But there's a wreck over there and a wreck right there that we can see. There's another one back over that way, but we can't see that for the moment. And honestly, they're a little far away to be able to get to right now. So we've got our heater. Now let's go ahead and put it there. Put our vegetube right here. And now I'll be able to show you what you do. Now, see, we want to put the Pastera seed in here, and that will begin producing oxygen for us. Okay, so this screen is very large. Very, very large. But it is necessary, and as I said, you can tell power goes out quite quickly. So it's all a management game, really, at first. Let's grab our iron, and we'll put 2 more of those wind turbines up, because they produce so little power. And you will note that our terraformation stopped because we don't have enough power to keep our machines running. So let's see, what do we need for iron and silicone, and magnesium. Go ahead and grab a little bit more ice. Excuse me. Like we're about to have another storm of some sort. So let's see here. Go ahead and grab a little bit of magnesium here. honestly, we're going to have to go back for oxygen. And it's all kind of a juggling act. Trying to keep your oxygen up, trying to keep your food and water levels up, things like that, until you get some of the upgrades. So let's see. We need iron, 2 silicone, and a magnesium. Which we just need the 2 iron then. Excuse me. Okay, see, now as our terraformation goes up, we unlock different things. And we just unlocked our second oxygen tank. That is really, really, really good for us. So here's our 2 iron. Let's go ahead and go back, and we'll start placing those other 2 screens. I will probably readjust this later because it's a little difficult to get in. But, okay, so our tank 2 needs silicone, cobalt, titanium, and 2 magnesium. We can do that easily. Another thing you'll see we have is exoskeleton tier 1. So we just need titanium, silicone, and magnesium for that. But first, I want to concentrate on getting those screens done. This one especially is very important early game. So we need to grab our microchip. I remember which container I put it in, it'd be helpful. Okay, so what you do with the screen, first of all, it'll tell you when certain things unlock. And you can see we've already unlocked our first one. But if you find a microchip, you can decode it and unlock different crafting things. So we have mining speed tier 1, which increases how quickly we gather our goodies, basically. So that's really good. And now we need to make our second screen. We'll put it over here for now. It's not the best place for it, but it's a little out of the way. Perfect. Now we can start slowly adding extra heaters, turbines, vegetubes, and drills until we unlock the more advanced recipes. So our next thing I'm really wanting to unlock would be the solar panel tier 1. And that unlocks at 1 KTI. So that's good. It takes less time than what you might think initially. Go ahead and grab that. And let's see what we can build right now. Well, as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and get these upgrades. So we need titanium, silicone, magnesium, titanium, cobalt, silicone, and magnesium. And I believe we've already picked up all of our recipes, or excuse me, all of our materials. Put those away. And we're going to go out and gather a little bit. So we need titanium, or silicone. Go ahead and grab this bit of iron here just because I know we're going to end up needing it later anyways. Now those little chests are going to be absolutely everywhere at first. There's just nothing you can really do about it. Some magnesium. There we are. And that should be enough to get us our upgrades. Now, to upgrade them, you do have to take it off your back. So we've got tier 2 oxygen tank right here. And then we'll need to make the exoskeleton. We'll need 1 more magnesium. So let's put this on, and it takes us up to 200. It's really, really, really good for us. Because that means we can be outside just a little bit longer. Backpack tier 2 just unlocked. And we have everything we need for it. So let's take that off. And we're going to make our tier 2. And we're going to put that on. Now, in order to put the exoskeleton on, we had to take one of ours off, but that's okay because it will actually give us more space in our little slot seat, which will allow us to put all of the little microchips in. So you can see already we're going to start needing aluminum. I want to put the flashlight on, so a silicon, 2 magnesium. So we'll need 2 silicone, 3 magnesium, and an aluminum. Got this right here. That scares me. Every time I walk past it, I keep thinking we're in for a meteor storm. As you've seen right there, if you don't keep looking at the material you're trying to gather, it won't gather it for you. It'll just leave it there. So you have to make sure you actually sit and look at it. It gathers pretty quickly, even with just the basic. So I'm not too incredibly worried about that. And my husband has just let me know that I've been going for quite a while now. So we're going to gather this up, we'll get our upgrades, and then that's where we'll probably end it for today, because I don't want this to go on for too long. So the next episode, we will go gather the rest of or I may just go ahead and go gather it, but we'll go gather the rest of the materials from the crate. And then on the next episode, we'll go visit the iridium mine and go look for our first golden chest. I think would be the best thing for us to do. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of food. And we're going to see what was it we needed. I believe it was our torch. And we need aluminum to upgrade our mining chip. So always remember you have to take the chip off to upgrade it normally. But with the first upgrades, you don't have to. So we've got that. Now, another thing, we'll eventually get windows and things like that. We have light. I don't really use the lights, personally. I'm not saying you can't, but I don't. We have different furniture. We're not going to get into the furniture yet. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good spot to leave it at. We've got all of our basic stuff done. We just need to raise our terraformation index and start getting some of the more advanced stuff in. So I think that's where we'll leave it today. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like and leave a comment. I'm more than happy to, if you have any advice or suggestions for us, we'll definitely listen to it. Other than that, thank you for watching, and you all have a great night.